I don't hear you guys. Here?
Dr. Quesada, what's the point of this rally today?
Well, the point of this rally is to let Albany, to let New York State know, to let the city of Yonkers know that the Yonkers public schools need to be funded fairly. For many years, the Foundation A formula has not treated Yonkers fairly. So it's time for us to demonstrate to everyone that we are a collaborative community, that we value our schools, that we value our children, and that we need to receive the dollars that are needed for our students to continue to be educated.
Now, is this coincidental that it's happening today, just a couple months before the budget crisis begins?
Well, it's not coincidental. This is something that we do every single year. We are constantly fighting for more funding. We are a relentless community. We are a united community. So the budget is scheduled to be approved April 1st. We must not allow for Yonkers not to be treated fairly anymore.
Now, what have we done different from last year to this year?
We have, well, what we are doing differently is that we are reaching out to everyone. The teachers, the administrators, civil service employees, the entire community at large, all of the elected officials coming together on behalf of our students. So it's a united front saying to everyone that Yonkers need to be funded fairly.
So this year and always Yonkers is united.
Yonkers is united on behalf of our young people, and it is something that we need to celebrate, but we need to make sure that we are getting the dollars that we are entitled to.
So we need to invest in our future, and we have to make sure that we have the correct funds.
Yonkers is a wonderful city, and our educational system is doing very well, so it's about continuing to support the system.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I don't hear you guys.
I thought I was getting sick from that St. Patty's Day, but it's cold.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
what do we need?
Need more money.
So what changes?
Actually, you know what? It's not just about more money anymore. It's about fixing the school aid formula once and for all.
What is wrong with the formula? What changes? Just on a nutshell.
It is all right. That is why we fight the fight. Education is all right. That is why we fight the fight.
Rochester, Buffalo, and Syracuse. And until New York State recognizes that and has put in place formulas that will change the narrative, change the formula as it stands, Yonkers will continue to have to deal with these annual budget crises, and that's just wrong.
So thank you, Major. Let me step back so we can.
The deficit that we're facing is $60 million. We're facing a $60 million deficit in our schools. Take a look at this paper. It means a potential of 456 cuts to our services, teachers, and staff. This cannot happen again. We have to fund our schools properly. We have to send a message to Albany and continue working with our delegation to fund our schools. $60 million is the ask. Okay? One rally. Yonkers Kids Matter. Let's get it on TV. Ready? Yonkers Kids Matter! 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 Now look around. We went up to Albany with over 200 families, a little bit over 100 students. Our city officials, the Board of Ed, YFT. Look at our Yonkers community. Look around here, all these signs. Parents, teachers, CSEA workers, city officials, the mayor, the Board of Ed, trustees, city council, all united with one front to fund our schools. Okay? I'd like to call up the mayor to say a few words.
Thank you, everybody. Let me start off by just saying thank you to our young people, because it's all about them, right? Our young kids are here today who have bright futures, who are just as bright, just as motivated, just as articulate, just as willing to do what they need to do to get a good education, provided that New York would provide us with the proper funding for education. Each and every year, we go with our city council, our PTAs, our parents, with the board of trustees, and we go to the state capitol with our unions, the representatives from labor that are here with us each and every year. And when we go to the state capitol, what do they say to us? Prove to us why you need more money. And every year, we prove to them why we need more money. But they don't fix the formula. They provide additional dollars. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a problem, but without really fixing the problem. If you need stitches, you put stitches. You get the ability to fix the problem. So we need money, guys. So what do we need?
Money!
And when do we need it?
Now!
What do we need?
Money!
When do we need it?
Now!
And if not now, when? Right? So if not now, say when, right? If not now,
When?
if not now,
When?
And that's what I get when I go to the state capitol. They say, we'll fix the formula one day. You're right. Yonkers is shortchanged. You're right. Yonkers needs to be treated fairly. You know what? We're tired of hearing that. We want the formula fixed. Our kids deserve it, and they deserve it now. So let's get ourselves together. Let's make sure this is the week, guys. This is the week. April 1st, the state budget gets passed. So you need to email, phone call, right? And get your message to the governor, get your message to the president pro tem of the Senate, who happens to be our state senator, Idris Cousins. Get the message to the Speaker of the Assembly, Carl Heastie, and get the message to the legislative leaders that the time is now for Yonkers to be treated fairly. Our kids cannot afford to suffer in a system that allows for our schools to be in disrepair and to allows for our education funding to be not up to par with Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. So let's do it. Everyone, get in touch with 10 friends. That's all you got to do, and get the message to the governor. With that, I'm going to ask the council president, Mike Cater, to come up and say a few words. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank the superintendent, the board of trustees. We got our labor leaders, YFT and CSCA here. As Rob has mentioned, this is a unified effort, and everyone that's needed for this is here. And the only way we're going to do it is with one message, and we're unified. It's very important. I want to echo what the mayor said about our old schools. We have schools in third world countries that are better than the schools here in the city of Yonkers. Education is a fundamental right. We should not politicize art, music, the sciences. This is something that's needed, and was needed 10 years ago. As you look around, we see these students. These are the future generation. These are the future leaders of Yonkers. Let's not disappoint them. I call on our leaders in Albany. I call on the governor's office. I call on the budget office. I call on the speaker. Please do not ignore our cries. We need help, and we need it now. Thank you so much, and I thank everyone for showing up out here today. Thank you so much, Mayor. I would like to call up the majority leader and the education chair, Michael Sabatino. Thank you, Mayor Spano.
Thank you, City Council President. You know, we go up to Albany every year and beg for money, and it shouldn't be that way. We have done everything possible in this city to fund our schools. We have taxed our residents to the max. We cannot tax anymore. We've done our share. It's now time for them to fix this formula. This formula needs to be fixed so we get reoccurring funding. We don't need any more one-shots. These children need the best education possible, and we've proven it. Our graduation rate is up to 86%. But we need an environment for these children. The schools need to be repaired. We need to build new schools. So call the governor, call our state legislators, and tell them to keep fighting. And I want to thank them for the work that they've done so far. They've always come through every year to help us, but we can't live on these one-shots. So get on the phone and call Albany.
Thank you. I want to make sure we get a shot of the kids. And for the teachers, I'm going to have to give them a little leeway tomorrow with the homework. So, but again, you know, that's why we're here. And if at Albany, with all the high school students that went, representing our 27,000 kids, they're representing also our next generation. And that's why we're here as a community, as Yonkers residents. It's everybody's state. 27,000 kids means 54,000 constituents in our city, and parents and families. 1 out of every 4. That is us. It involves every single one of us in this city. It is $60 million that we need for our schools. Our schools need to be the best. We already have the highest graduation rate. We could do much better if our schools are properly funded. I'd like to call Reverend Steve Lopez, Board of Trustees President.
Thank you very much, Rios. I'd like to thank the YCPTA for putting this together. I'm joined by my Vice President, Trustee Judith Ramos-Meyer, Trustee Rosaba Corrado De Vecchio, Trustee Kevin Case, Trustee Santana. Did I get it right? Yes. Oh, and Trustee Pat Montesando, who's here together collectively. You know, we have to deal with facts as trustees of Board of Education. Fact is, you're not going to change the formula in 2 days. We need the money. We'll work on that next year. Facts are that the trustees have to vote on a budget. And given today, right now, if we had to vote on a budget, we're going to cut $8 million out of pre-K. Given today, the facts are that if we have to cut the budget and deal with the money we have now, there's no high school sports except for football, no intramural sports, no clubs. We have to reduce art and music, foreign language, adult education. I can go on and on and on and on. You can only get so much out of what we have. Changing the formula will not happen in 2 days, but give us the money to barely fund our district this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the families at home, I know everybody's asking, what can I do? The ones that are here are representing you, the 27,000. If you're home, what can you do? Go to the website, ycpta.com. There is a petition online. Just fill out the petition. The petition goes out to the governor, to Stuart Cousins, and our state legislators asking for the funding. Please make sure, ycpta.com. Go to the website, sign the petition. There is no reason we should not have over 10,000 signatures up in Albany before the end of this week. I'd like to call Dr. Edwin Quesada, Superintendent of Schools.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. Welcome to Yonkers, everyone. We are in the best urban community in New York. We are in the best urban community in this country. We prove to you that graduation rate is a possibility for all of our young people. On-time graduation. We speak about 86%, that's in 4 years. We prove to everyone that our young people are heading to college. Many of them heading to the best colleges and universities in this nation. We prove to you that these young people are going to come to school every single day ready to learn. And we are working on that every single day. But you know what else we prove to you? That the mayor, the city council, the teachers, the administrators, the civil service employees, and the PTA are committed to working together on behalf of education. So we tell everyone, when we demonstrate that we have the ability to come together on behalf of children, then fund us properly. Yes. Give us the dollars that we are entitled to. Give us the support that we need. Here today, we have students, parents, teachers, administrators, elected officials, community-based organization. We have the world watching us. So it's time to take care of Yonkers. It's time to support Yonkers. It is time to deliver for Yonkers. Fix the formula. Recurrent revenues is the answer. Take care of our city. Take care of our children. Thank you so much.
If I can ask Mike Green from City Council to come up and speak.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. What a crowd. What a crowd. We're all together. City Council is all together on this. You know, right over there is the Hudson River. Hudson River has a tide. Goes up, comes back. But in Yonkers, it's a one-way river. All we do is send money up there. Nothing comes back. We need a tide. The tide's got to change, and some of that money's got to come back. So let's let Albany hear us. We want the money back. Thank you.
Sinead, can you come up?
Sure, I can come up. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I can't hear you guys. Hello, Yonkers! Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all for coming out today, to all the families, the PTA, everyone standing behind me. This is so important that we are here for these young ones because they deserve to get a good quality education. It's unfortunate that we're actually doing this, right? We shouldn't have to do this. We should have all the funding we need to invest in our students because let's think about it. Are they not the future? Yes. Are you the future? Yes. We are the future. These young children, they are the future of Yonkers. They're the future of the state of New York, and we want to invest in them. We need to invest in them, and that is why we're here, to send a very clear message today to the leaders in Albany and let them know that they need to invest in Yonkers and give us our fair share of funding. There is no more time to waste here. Let's invest in our students, let's invest in our teachers, let's invest in our community, and let's do it now. Thank you. I want you guys to go with me on 3. Fund Yonkers fairly. 1, 2, 3.
Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly!
You deserve it. Fund Yonkers fairly!
Hi, Councilman John. You can't hide.
I'm a little taller, so I'm going to pick up the microphone. Let's hear it again, Sinead. Fund Yonkers fairly!
Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly! Fund Yonkers fairly!
You've heard it before, and I'm going to repeat what the crowd here has said. The money goes up to Albany, and it's not returned. This year, and going forward, we need it returned. Enough with the one-shots. Last year, we had a big hole, and we received $8 million in a one-shot. We now have an additional gap in our budget of $8 million. That money's not coming back. The formula needs to be fixed. These kids are the future of the city of Yonkers. These kids are our future. We need to rebuild our schools and give them a very fair education. We need you to call on our legislators. Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins is now in charge of the Senate. We have Senator Shelley Mayer, who has fought for Yonkers time and time again, is now chair of the Education Committee. If not now, Yonkers will never get the money. If not now, when, like the mayor said. Call up our legislators and tell them that Yonkers deserves more. Fund Yonkers fairly. Thank you.
I want to bring up to the mic now, based on our stats, what's going to impact 22% of the cuts. So, Yonkers Federation of Teachers, Samantha.
Hello, I'm Samantha Rosado Suriello. I'm the president of Yonkers Federation of Teachers, and I want to say thank you, everyone, for coming out here. We're here for the students. It's so great to see all the students and parents and all the stakeholders here fighting for fair funding. How many of you are tired of coming here every year with the same message? Are you tired? Yes! Yes, we are tired. This is now, as other people have said, our students deserve art, music, guidance, psychology, social workers, sports. Yes, we come in. Do we deserve that? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you. So it's important that we make our voices be heard in Albany. So I got a little chant. And by the way, this is your homework. So I got a little chant. You know "We Will Rock You." We go. Yep. Let's do it. No, don't sing it. Don't sing it. Just stamp it out and clap it. All right, start again. Start again. Stamp, stamp, clap. Stamp, stamp, clap. Repeat after me. I don't know what you've been told.
I don't know what you've been told.
Yonkers got a funding hole.
Yonkers got a funding hole.
I don't know if it's been said.
I don't know if it's been said.
Sports, art, music could be dead.
Sports or music could be dead.
Don't leave Yonkers in the cold.
Don't leave Yonkers in the cold.
Funding crisis is getting old.
Funding crisis is getting old.
Fund us.
Fund us.
Fairly.
Fairly.
Fund us.
Fund us.
Fairly.
Fairly.
Fund us. Fairly. Right now.
Thank you. Now we have the president for CSEA, Lionel Turner.
So thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I'm a product of the Yonkers school system. I went to school 25, born in high school. Education, all of us who are standing right here have been part of an education system. Education is the foundation of your society and the development of your future. When you take care of your children, you take care of your future. We have an obligation and a responsibility to create an environment that allows for the full development of young children to become full human beings. Stand together, fight for what's right. If we don't fight for our children, we shouldn't fight for anything. God bless you.
If I can have Judy Ramos, the VP of Trustees. Sorry, you weren't going to get away with it. I know you were hiding, but...
Can I sit down?
It has already been said, but it cannot be said enough. If these schools are not funded recurringly year to year, beginning now, we are never going to be able to stop going up to Albany and asking for money. This is not about Yonkers not doing its fair share. This is not that our students are not excelling at rates that are way beyond everyone else in New York State. Our teachers, our children, our union members, they deserve to walk into buildings that are livable. Our children are thriving in buildings that are not livable. Could you imagine what they could do with buildings like the ones in Syracuse, in Binghamton? We ask Albany, for one final time, fix the problem. If the problem is not fixed, you will see us back at your doorstep every year until we get it fixed. But if we don't get it fixed now, it is not going to happen. Let's put pressure on our elected officials and let them know how important this is, and let them know that the time is now. Thank you.
All right, real quick, I have a few more folks. Mr. Morante, Councilman Morante.
Thank you very much. Well, I can't say it any other way than more than my colleagues have said, but if you take a look right over there's a bunch of new buildings. You take a look down there's a bunch of new buildings. So there's a lot of people that are coming to Yonkers and investing in the city of Yonkers. Now we need one other division to come and help the invest in the city of Yonkers, up in Albany. And we're not even asking them for their money, it's our money. We've sent $230 million up there that they have not sent back to us in the last 5 years. We want our money back. Our kids deserve it. Get it done. Let's get it done now. Recurring money start this year. Thank you very much.
If I can bring up the principal of Roosevelt, Ed DeChanty.
Let's go, DeChanty! Yeah, DeChanty! That's my principal! That's my principal! Yes! Yes!
We're standing right here. You need more money? That's right. Tell them now.
Oh, okay. Ed, we're waiting for you. All right. Before that, let's go with. I want Y SEPTA to talk a little bit about our needs in our district.
How you doing, Yonkers?
Cable.
I'm a parent myself. My
You're
son
blocking
here.
everybody.
I've been through the whole CPSC and CSC process. I'm just here to share with you guys my experience with the Yonkers Public Schools. I feel that there needs to be much attention addressed to certain issues, especially when it comes to supporting the families that lack knowledge and understanding what their children are already going through. I feel that when certain programs need to be funded, or a lot of things need to be, the attention need to be addressed on a lot of issues as far as acknowledging these issues that these children are having and understanding the families and where the struggles that they're coming from. Because yes, we are paying these teachers. Yes, there's no lie that Yonkers has always for years struggled with budget from the state itself. And we're not to blame just Yonkers alone. We have to stick together and support the Board of Education because they have issues that we need to address as well with the state that the state lacks acknowledgement for. Now, to speak about in-house, because the state is another good, the fight with the state is another issue, but to speak about in-house issues, supporting each other, both from the Board of Education side, the family side, and the teacher side. I genuinely feel like we need to build a stronger relationship with each other and acknowledge everyone's obstacles with education. If we do that, we can get farther. I'm a single parent, and my imagination for my child's future is to see him, despite his obstacles or things that he's going through, or what I've gone through as a family that may have gone through trauma or broken things or divorces or whatever, homelessness. There needs to be a louder voice. Someone in the Board of Education needs to have a louder voice for those families, where we can all equally, so that everyone can equally be educated, both our special ed children, and our as well as our children who are put in regular classes. But one thing I can assure, or that myself as a parent, I have been more than willing to put my power into stepping up to support the teachers, as well as in trying to be understanding to the Board of Education. Now, the only thing I have asked in return was the same respect. When I look the teachers in the face, genuinely tell me how you feel about what my child is going through. And let me not say, I have had this year, Cross Hill Academy, that program that's there for the CSC, amazing support. Ms. Lotan, particularly, I have to give her a shout out. They have done great, they have been great with evaluating my son and acknowledging his issues and putting him in programs that are going to direct help his needs later. But that's not, I got lucky this year. That's not everyone's story. That's not everyone's story. And I would like for everyone to have the opportunity to say, look, this is what my child has issues in this department. I'm concerned. Don't push me away and tell me I have to send emails after emails and phone calls after phone calls. To get what I need to push through what I'm getting from you. Okay? That's just one thing I'm going to go.
Fund Yonkers fairly. Fund Yonkers fairly. Fund Yonkers fairly. Fund Yonkers fairly. Fund Yonkers fairly.
I didn't know I was going to be speaking today, but I thank you all for this opportunity, for giving me a spotlight to speak. I am the Yonkers Special Education PTA president, and I am grateful for the relationship that was built with the Yonkers Public Schools. But, you know, in as much as we have a great relationship, I realize we need more funding. And we are asking for $20 million that Dr. Rodriguez needs to adequately staff the Yonkers Public Schools Special Education Department. $20 million. Okay? They are really challenged, all right? In as much as we see them functioning to the best they can, but I'm not going to lie. I do get complaints, okay? And we need the adequate funding to get social workers, psychologists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, teachers, for Christ's sake. The integrated co-teaching classes are only having teachers for half of the day. We need full-day integrated co-teaching teachers, okay? Please, $20 million for Yonkers Public Schools Special Education Department. Thank you.
Show me the money! 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 Show me the money!
Thank you. So we have one social worker for every 1,898 students. One guidance counselor for every 805 students. One psychologist for every 885 students. We need our services and we need the funding. Thank you, YSEPTA, and thank you to the parents that spoke. Again, that is the reality of how it impacts our students and our children at home. That is the reality. So now I think we're closing with Ed. Where's the Roosevelt principal?
It's Ed!
You ready? All right. Let's do a few chants. I want to thank everybody. Look, from the bottom of my heart, we went up to Albany a few times last week over the course of the year. This is my first year as PTA president. I've been there already 3 times. The delegation has already been there more times than I can count, as long as city council leaders. We need your support. Do the petition online. Make sure we contact our legislators in Albany to get the funding we need. 10,000 signatures.
Fund Yonkers fairly! 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 Fund Yonkers fairly!
Thank you all. Have a safe, blessed day.
Spend your money wisely. Well, I don't know. I'll check with that. What deep is fake?
Well, say thank you, Dr. Casara. Say,
Oh, thank you for what? Thank you guys.
oh, man.
Thank you for that $1 billion.
Okay. Hey, Ben, how are you?
Good job.
Mike, just piggyback on what the mayor said. He has gone to Albany. They have said that they understand that the formula needs to be fixed, but somehow they keep giving this one-shot deal instead of the one-shot deals, why don't they fix the formulas?
Okay, Ben, the one-shot deals are short-term solutions. As
Right.
I believe somebody said, last year we got an $8.8 million. The problem is that $8.8 million is not here now. So what we need is the funding formula is inherently not accurate. And many times people think equality. They can't negate equality with equity. As the mayor has said, we've sent up over $200 million, and that money's not coming back down to us. Yonkers is doing everything that it can, but it's not being reciprocated. And right now is the time. When we have the Senate Majority Leader from Yonkers, we have the Education Chair from Yonkers, we have an Assemblyman that used to be the Yonkers Public School President of Board of Education Trustee. The time is right. If it doesn't happen now, when? And I assure you, if we were funded properly, we wouldn't have to be doing this. I remember I said we have an annual crisis. If we fix the problem the right way, we wouldn't have this crisis.
I understand that, Michael, but we've been having this annual crisis every year for the last God knows how long.
Since I was in school.
Okay, so when is this formula going to be fixed? What needs to be done for the formula to be fixed?
Well, the formula was imposed by state legislation, and it has to come from the state legislators. Just within the last 3-4 days, I spoke to Assemblyman Nader Sage, I spoke to State Senator Shelley Mayer. They're working in both chambers. It has to come from them, and they recognize the inherent inequity in what happens. They say that Yonkers comes from is a wealthy city because we're in a wealthy county, but we're not. 80% of our students are receiving free lunch. How can we be an affluent community when 80% of our students are receiving free lunch and about 50% are living below poverty? So the economics of the formula are not fair, and it's hurting our students.
So once again, what do the parents need to do?
Reach out to your state delegation, send the email, go to the online petition.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in, baby. That's about what it is. You got one
Number
of these
two.
or not?
Okay, I can't help it.
It was a good distraction. It kept them occupied. I got 1, 2. Where's number 3?
Right here.
Okay.
We'll lock horns and sit down, but you're still a great guy.
No, we have to. We have to do that.
God bless you. He is. I can tell. He lights up for his kids.
Mr. Lopez, one word from you.
Real money will be millions. We would be
Like
able to
the song says, this is it? Are we going to have this formula fixed this time around?
We have no option but to fix this formula this time around. It can't be done in 2 days, but we need to fix Yonkers now. We need to get the funding in place to make us whole. We need fair funding this year, and next year we have enough time for the state to finally, once and for all, fix the formula. Now is a prime opportunity. If we don't do it now, it's never going to get done. We got to fund Yonkers fairly.
Now, Mr. Lopez, I have to ask you this question,
Sure.
and I hate to be negative. What if we don't get the money? You know, what if the gap is not closed? Does that mean another tax increase?
No, what it does, the city's at 92% of its constitutional tax limit. Tax increase is out of the question. Even if you raise the taxes, it's not going to even come close to what we need. What's going to happen is jobs. Jobs are going to get cut. Programs are going to get cut. People are going to be without jobs. All the education that we fought so hard for recently and all the progress that we have is going to go right back to the Stone Age. We can't accept that. We can't have that. We need to fix this now.
Mr. Lopez, I heard that before. I heard what you just said before, last year, and the taxes did go up.
Yes, but we didn't have the Senator Pro Tem, the head of the Senate, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, as the head of the Senate. We didn't have Shelley Mayer as the education chair. We didn't have the governor behind us. We didn't have Dr. Nader Sage in the assembly. We didn't have Gary Pretlow. Now we didn't have the assembly speaker behind us. We didn't have the education chair for the assembly come and visit us. And all these things are aligned now to do it now. Now they have the ability collectively to make this right.
Are you saying we have everything lined up? Is the perfect storm to have this formula fixed?
It's the perfect weather to fix that perfect storm.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Now, as she is, yes you are, a proud parent,
president,
PTA participant. Tell us. Now, I want to get off a little bit. I want to get off from the budget, the money, the formula, and focus a little bit on the PTA. Tell the parents how important it is.
It's very important. And this is one of the biggest reasons why. As a PTA, our job is to advocate for our kids, be our kids' voices. And here we are, asking for the money that we need. I don't know if you heard, but that a psychologist has to take on 835 kids by themselves. There shouldn't be a reason for that, especially the way mental health is now, where most of our kids need, the help, and they need psychologists and psychiatrists in school. We need this money. We need art, we need music, and we need more parents to be more active. You just cannot sit around and wait for other people to do it for you. If your kid goes to school in Yonkers, you need to be a part of this. You need to be a part of the PTA, be a part of advocating, trying to get everything our kids need.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Gio. Nothing is cut off. Doctor?
Oh, she's right behind.
We already spoke enough. Well, I guess it's never enough. But we already talked about the formula.
Yes.
Now I want to just bring another important factor into our conversation. PTA, parents' involvement. I think that is of extreme importance, that we stop complaining less, getting involved more. Please tell us, focus a little bit on that, sir.
So parent involvement is critical in our schools. Every school has a PTA unit, and only through the parent involvement and through the PTA units are how issues get raised so that we can try to make an impact at the district level, at the Board of Ed with the superintendent, or with the Board of Trustees. So parents need to be involved because it is about their children, right? It is about the education and the teachers that they have and the programs that they have or they won't have next year or the following year. Parent involvement has always been critical in our schools and in education in general.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You taking the signs back, Rob? I don't know.
I gotta respect,
Respect. Thank you very much.